Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, and parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/Wondery.
Looking for your best sleep ever? Sleep Number smart beds are literally made for you. They adapt to your changing needs. So whether you're dealing with sore muscles or running hot at night, your bed automatically adjusts for optimal comfort. Want softer, firmer, cooler, warmer? With personalized firmness settings and temperature control that cools up to 20 times faster than leading competitors, you'll get the perfect sleep environment every night. Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? So you can choose your ideal comfort on either side. And now it's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event, up to 50% off, limited time, exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. See store or sleepnumber.com for details.
This is Reusse for my guy, Josh Arnold. Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety from wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk, never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608 and set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Patrick Reusse is a paid endorser.
Are we on YouTube?
It will be. Eventually.
Not today.
No, it'll eventually be uploaded.
Well, why are we not seeing ourselves?
Because we're recording it. It's being recorded right now.
Pat.
Not many people working today at the Hubbard Empire.
Why don't you ask Joe about that?
Yes.
There's nobody here.
No, it would be.
Even last week, what did you say?
You could get a spot to park.
No, this country you had a big.
This country's turned these midweek holidays into week long.
Oh God, yes, it's fantastic. They love Wednesday holidays. You know, everybody would love it if they moved Memorial Day and Labor Day to Wednesday instead of Monday.
Sure.
You know, all those Monday holidays.
Pat, a lot of deaths. We never mentioned Rickey Henderson.
Oh, man alive. What a player.
I went over the weekend and re-listened to his Hall of Fame acceptance speech.
I got to go listen to it.
Which is just so Rickey.
Does he refer to himself as Rickey?
Oh, of course. He's just wonderful.
He is. It was, I love the Harold. I'm not a Harold Reynolds fan, but the Harold Reynolds story is fantastic.
I'll pull it up, but isn't that where we got?
About the stolen
So
base?
she chose it baseball for me.
That was Hall of Fame, right?
That's Hall of Fame.
That's what I thought.
He just they had a great billboard in Oakland. Picture of Rickey in full stride with the word "gone."
Yeah, wow.
Was that cool?
He was. You know, I'd kind of forgotten that he came back there he was gone like 3 years.
Played for 9 teams.
Yeah.
How many times did he play for Oakland? Twice?
Twice, yeah. And 2 big
Actually,
both times.
Did he have a comeback for his final? Or was
He
that just one of those?
He came back a third time, too. But he came back a second time and played 3 or 4 years.
And when they won the title. This was Harold. He was on the Dan Patrick show when he gave this great story.
If you pitch to Bonds, when he got walked, 200 times one season? If you, 230 times he got walked.
Yeah.
Let's say you pitch to him half of those.
Just give me a second. It's only
He's
a minute.
hitting 90 home runs.
It might be. It would probably be like the great Rickey Henderson told me when I won a stolen base title. He called me up. He said, 60 stolen bases? You ought to be ashamed. Rickey has 60 at the break.
Wait, Rickey.
And then he hung up the phone.
Yeah. Rickey got hurt at the All-Star break, but he was.
Harold won it with 60 bases.
Yeah, that one.
Rickey had 60 at the break.
Henderson here.
Yeah.
Well, Rickey had 100. He got on base over 5,000 times.
Oh,
he got on base
gosh,
in the big leagues over 5,000.
He was first ballot, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
People are complaining that he only got 97 or 8%. I said, what difference does it make?
Yeah.
He's in.
People like to complain. Listen, we have every group in America has a percentage of idiots, right?
Yep.
Why
Well,
can't
I'll
the
say.
baseball writers who vote have a small percentage of idiots?
You know
Why
what's
are
great?
we,
You know what's great about Rickey? He upended the analytics fad because first of all, he didn't know what they were and didn't care.
No.
And he was a little bit before the time.
Yes, he was before.
But analytics would not have applied to him.
No.
He just did what he did.
A lot of ways he was ahead of the time taking pitches. He walked. You had to throw him a strike.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he'd just take the walk because he know he could. He always said, "You walk me, I'm on third."
Right.
So he was, but he walked a lot. That was more than any other talent was just getting on base. That's what he did.
I guess what I'm saying is that analytics wouldn't have meant much trying to analyze his career.
No.
Because he did what he wanted to do. He didn't do it. Well, he was predictable in the sense that he was going to just steal on you. Period.
Who was it? Was it Rickey who said to Olerud?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said to Olerud.
They were at spring training.
Yeah.
And they were playing with the Mets.
I saw a guy with...
No, he walked up to John Olerud. They're in spring training, wherever the Mets had their spring training at the time. He said, "Man, I see you playing first base with a batting helmet on. I used to play with a guy like that in Toronto." Yeah, Rickey, that was me.
That's great. There's a man who's... Baseball's an individual sport anyway, right?
Yeah.
It's the most individual of them all. You don't have to pass to anybody or do anything. Might as well. Olerud should have said, was he a left-handed hitter? Yeah, that was me. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, what a bad year for the Hall of Fame, though. Man alive. Incredible number of Willie. Willie goes. I mean, Willie was 94. But,
Yeah. I'm surprised Rickey was so young. He was fit. He was fit. He was fit.
God, yes. Pneumonia. What? How does that kill you? I don't know. That's what they're saying, anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was listening to something in Q. What was the question?
He died of pneumonia.
That's what the family said, yeah. That's the
I don't
statement.
think he was a druggie or anything.
No, I don't think so. No.
He took care of himself. Rickey ready to go.
Always looked like he was in good shape, man. Always looked like he was in good shape. So you like the Vikes Sunday against Detroit?
I do.
I kind of do, too.
Mm-hmm. I like him to go all the way. Play Buffalo in the Super Bowl, have a 14-0 lead after the first quarter of the Super Bowl, and there'll be an alien invasion.
Yeah, well, but Buffalo could feel the same way, right?
Have they lost 4?
They've lost 4 or 5. Did they lose another one? They lost 4 in a row.
4 in a row, and that's it.
They haven't been back.
They haven't been back since.
It'll be a meeting between 2 non-winners of the Super Bowl.
It'll be fantastic.
Yep.
Allen.
I was asked.
Allen is going to be Allen's going to be a handful though. If he stays healthy. Oof.
He's a good player. They
why? I'm sorry, Chris.
Go ahead.
Speaking of that, why was Campbell playing all his guys last night?
Because
he's nuts.
He's goofy. Well, the one I couldn't believe is
Goff might have gotten hurt.
Oh, worse. The running back.
The Gibbs kid.
Yeah.
The Gibbs.
What are you playing
He's only
him
got
for?
one left.
Right. Montgomery's gone.
Montgomery's hurt. So he must have had the ball 30-something. He ran 22 times.
I don't get it.
It's just the tough guy approach, I guess.
Jeez.
I guess apparently they got out of it without anybody getting hurt.
As far as I know, I didn't see anything post game, but yeah, I don't think anyone sustained injury. But
well, if you hold them under 35, you'll beat them. Because they can't.
Well, not to mention, yes, that game essentially meant nothing for the Lions, but you're also on a short week.
Mm-hmm.
You're
flying back from California.
California, and you play in 5 days.
Do they play Sunday night?
Sunday night.
There is no Monday game next week?
No.
So they play Sunday night.
But here's the thing. The winner gets the number 1 seed. The loser might end up playing on Saturday as a road team.
The next Saturday.
Yeah,
Correct.
The loser will end up playing
the 5 seed.
a bad 5 team, a bad 4.
Yeah, you'll play the winner of the
Tampa.
South, either Tampa or Atlanta.
Although Tampa's not terrible.
No.
Atlanta's terrible, if you could play
Although
Atlanta.
that kid, the Knicks kid, I think he's going to be pretty damn good.
Penix?
Oh, you see that touchdown throw he had?
No.
To send the game to overtime? That was an absolute missile.
I didn't watch much. I was at the Tilt, a rare appearance at the Tilt, and I didn't really watch much yesterday.
Tell Joe what you told me about trying to navigate through that crowd on Sunday.
Joe. $1.2 billion.
Right.
Got the same corridors you had at the Metro.
They didn't impress me. They did, but the building did. The building impressed me terribly, but the corridors were very common, very ordinary.
Yes. And, you're putting 10,000 more people in it. But the other thing is they put all these stands in the corridor. Mm-hmm. So, people, you're going through like this. And then, you see, I'm going like this. And then... And then there's no stand there, so they fan out. But then you run into one of those concession stands, and everybody's got to fight their way back into the crowd they came from. It's awful. It's awful. I don't get
It's rated, voted number 1 in the league, though, for fan experience.
Well, those people don't have to. Get through the hallway.
There's not an unchoreographed second.
Mm-hmm.
There's 66 people running that thing.
I think so.
Yes.
Well, it was all a big story in the Tribune over the weekend about
it. Yes, I didn't read it, but I saw it. It was long. One nice thing about the press box is you're so far up there, you don't know what the hell's. You don't have to listen to any of that crap or anything. So But
were you there for your amusement?
No, I wrote a column on. Cashman, Blake Cashman.
Oh, that's right.
They wanted me to go see his family, so I'm down there talking to the family in the one end zone. And it took me 25 minutes of fighting people to get back to the...
There's an elevator to the box, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a little door.
Yeah.
And if you're kind of old and slow and fighting your way through this, sometimes you go right by it and then have to... Hey, anybody know where that elevator is?
Does the family still lives here in town, right?
Who, the Cashmans?
The Cashmans?
Mom and the stepdad have a place in Florida and here. And you know where they live in Florida?
Where?
On the IBM golf course at, not IBM, IMG golf course in Bradenton. They got a home on the golf course. IMG is at
the academy.
The academy, the student, and then they got the house that all the kids grew up in Eden Prairie too.
Okay,
but then Dad has got his.
Because I heard he grew up a Packer fan.
Well, he was a Favre fan for a while.
A Brett Favre fan. Okay,
who, the kid?
Cashman, the linebacker.
Yeah,
yeah. He's a perfectionist. That kid. His brother, who was only a year younger than him, Austin, nice kid. And look him up. He's got some job down in Chicago, that's making some money, and but he was charged with vacuuming the basement once, where they kind of hung out, and Blake did not feel he'd done a good enough job vacuuming the basement, and before it was over, Austin had a broken hand.
Really?
Yeah, 2 brothers a year apart.
Yeah.
Both athletes. One guy is wired up as this kid is. I said, "You ever had any tussles?" He said, "Way too many." But what a player! God,
he's had a great year.
Discovery.
Yeah.
I mean,
what do for all the naysayers, what are the Vikings missing that they couldn't advance to the Super Bowl and win it? Where are they short?
I got the best receiver in football.
Yes,
they do. He makes the other receivers much better.
Yes, he does.
Addison. So you got to double team him, or he's going to catch 8 balls.
Or Naylor might catch one.
Naylor might catch. They sneak. They had those teams started saying, okay, we got to cover him and Addison.
Right.
So then Naylor just runs out there, and he's uncovered.
And you got the big tight end.
You got the big tight end back. He could a pass catcher. The offensive line played good against Green Bay.
Yep.
They're missing a left tackle. The guy they got to fill in for him is okay. He's nothing special, but really nothing.
Great defense.
All three of those linebackers are new. The Van Ginkel, Grenard, and Cashman, and then Pace is. They found him on the street, basically.
Plus, they have a different vibe than we're accustomed to. This is not a Bud Grant Viking team.
No, this is not that I know because I don't do it, but you don't have to go into the locker room and have somebody screaming at you.
Right.
Well, for one thing, you know what the great thing about modern sports is? They don't read the newspaper.
They don't care.
They don't care. Yeah. So they're not. You can say anything. You can write anything you want.
Well, they will monitor social media, though.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
They will. They'll find that if you're insulting them, but it's not. It's not important anymore.
No.
Like used. As I always told you the story that John Randall had those drawn headshots of Barrero and I attached to his locker on the side, so he knew who to be mad at. And I went over and said, John, it's not that big a problem.
Yeah.
I outweigh him by about 120. I'm the fat guy. He's the skinny guy.
Right.
Or as Herbeck once said, you guys, I think the two of us, he said, Barrero looks like he's got AIDS, and you look like you ate a guy who had AIDS. Thank you, Ken. Yes.
Nice to see you.
What a comedian that is. That I don't know if
I found the Olerud thing very quickly because I got to play it.
I know the story. And I said, well, I had surgery when I was in college, and so I wear it for protection. And he said, man, I played with somebody like that in New York. And my response was, yeah, Ricky, that was me. I played with you.
There's a guy focused on his job.
He really is.
Focused on his job.
Yeah, Ricky, that was me.
Everybody who ever played with him, though, tells stories about him. They all loved him.
They all loved him.
Yeah, because he's just so goofy and self-centered and,
And he wanted to win.
Oh, God, yes. He was great.
I think he gave you his money's worth.
Mike Marshall was, I told you that Mike Marshall was, you could get him on the phone. You could call his hotel room and he'd talk to you. So opening night in Oakland, I'm not out there, but he's pitching on a Friday night, and Rickey hits a 3-run homer off him on the opening night. So I need a count for Saturday. Sunday, I call him up in the hotel in Oakland. 10 in the morning, he answers the phone. He spent 15 minutes explaining to me why Rickey was the dumbest hitter in the history of baseball, that he knew that slider was coming, that he should. But they all, everybody talked about Rickey was, he was a great player and harmless with his goofiness. You know?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know what? You know what's wrong with baseball? They aren't getting the Rickies anymore. Oh. They're playing football. Yeah. They're playing other sports. They aren't getting the Rickies anymore. That kind of athlete, man. What do you think? Well, I'll go to point guard with that guy, man. 6'1",
or a defensive back.
Yeah.
He wanted it. He didn't want to play baseball. That's why his mother chose it. He didn't want it. He wanted to play football and basketball.
Oh, okay.
I see. I didn't know we have decided, and it's kind of interesting, and at least in our paper, that Ant's grammar lacks a little, including the F-bombs. But we've been quoting him like what he's saying instead of turning the contractions into
right.
There was a period where you just made it wasn't instead of whatever the heck they said. You cleaned up the grammar a little bit. I guess now we're just running.
Is that laziness or what is that?
No, I think it's just probably
style,
authenticity. I don't know what it is, but
maybe in the Hall of Fame speech he told about his high school team. I don't know, but he didn't make the team.
Oh, really?
And he went to the coach and said, "Maybe you don't know who I am." And all the other players rallied behind him and said, "You can't cut him."
No.
See what he.
Let's see if I can find it in here.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
Didn't he play? He played. He was from that McClymonds or whatever. Wasn't he from that Bay Area?
He's Oakland High School someplace.
McClymonds or someplace was unbelievable athletes. Mm-hmm. A bunch of them. So anyway, what are you going to go out and party hardy on New Year's Eve? It's been a while since that happened.
No.
I can't even get my wife to go to the drive-thru at 5 o'clock on New Year's Eve.
I just soon not have to go out.
As you said, it's amateur.
It's an amateur night. It's.
I wonder if it's as big a deal as it used to be.
I don't
Restaurants
know.
are all full.
No, most places, it's especially the closer you get to the taller buildings.
Yeah.
Most places aren't, especially downtown Minneapolis. I don't know much of what's going on.
I was around a lot of college kids this weekend. They'll do something.
Oh, sure.
When you're young, you know.
Mm-hmm. Did you want to give Patrick our moment from?
I got a nice gift from Donald Trump.
Okay.
This is your favorite president, and I just wanted to wish a very happy new year to one of my biggest fans. You know what I'm talking about, Joe Reusse, the fake mayor of Garage Logic. You know, I hear you're a fake mayor because you never got my endorsement, and you're not very nice to me, but that's okay. I know that secretly, deep down inside, you love me, and you love me a lot because you live in Minnesota, and you deal with very high taxes, and I'm sorry that I had to send Tampon Tim Walz back to you, but we had to beat him, and we had to make our country great again. I know that you also have a fake tooth that keeps falling out. You're like Nancy Pelosi, can't keep your teeth in your mouth, but you're still a tremendous guy, I have to say that. And your podcast is #1 in Anguilla. So you are making Anguilla great again, which is MAGA. You're welcome for the slogan. But, Joe, I know that also when you go to the Minnesota Wild hockey games, you like to cross the river 2 times. Nobody knows what the hell that's about, but you cross the river 2 times. And you like old British cars that leak oil, which is why we call you Leaky Joe, right? We have currently in office Leaky Joe, but he leaks from something else that you're not supposed to leak from. And the Pope knows all about it. You know what I'm talking about. But Leaky Joe Reusse, I hope you have the greatest New Year the world has ever seen. It's going to be fantastic. Whether you like it or not, I'm going to be your president. And we're going to make America great again. And I think by the end of my second term, you're going to be one of my biggest fans. Happy New Year. God bless you. And the best is yet to come. Believe me.
Who's the guy? Who did you get?
It was issued to us by a listener. I believe
really?
it's something. That's how the AI conversation started.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good. That was pretty good.
There's
you know
guys
that?
out there where you can, they have a fee and then you can give them a name and they create a message.
Okay.
Were you aware that when Joe goes to the Wild games, he crosses the river twice? Yeah.
That's so I could come into the victory ramp from the right direction.
Okay. So you go down.
I would cross the practice freeway bridge to 13, go 13 down, then cross the Wabasha Bridge in the right direction.
You no longer have parking in the victory.
No, I don't have that anymore. That was one of my greatest perks in life.
Because you could park there now, and then you wouldn't know where the hell to go. That would be the problem.
Right.
You know,
we don't have a building.
No, that would be bad for sure.
I tried to find out. I told you about my fascination with Macklin Celebrini.
Yes,
the San Jose player.
Yes,
but the Reavers tells me they don't come here till April.
Yes, it's the second
San
to last
Jose.
home game.
I have to go to that.
They have been terrible for a few years now. Are they building? Or is Burnsy still there? He's still playing.
That's a good
Brent
question.
Burns is
Thought
still
he was
playing.
with the Carolinas.
Maybe he is.
Oh.
He's got a beard on him like this now. It's. I remember. I'm so old that I went to their season opener in Chicago when he was a rookie.
Yeah.
And the buses were leaving, and they let you climb on a bus with the players.
Yeah.
And he sat there.
39 years old. He's still playing with the Carolina Hurricanes.
That was when Jock wanted to have the draft choices on his team. Remember, he always, they'd draft a guy, and the guy'd end up playing here. Pierre Bouchard and Brent Burns, and, of course, Gabby. Gabby was good enough to play.
Now, Gabby's long out of the game, isn't he?
Yeah, didn't he retire after they won the Cup? In L.A.?
But he had, he started having injury problems here, and he'd have a good year once in a while, and he missed most of 2 years for. So, hey, did you ever do anything on Len Lillyholm in your days?
No, I see he passed too.
And
the wife.
In a bad situation for him. Something happened. He's driving to Palm Beach, Florida, but he's going through Iowa, and it's like 9 a.m, so they're making their drive. So you got to think they got up here at 5.
Yeah.
But somebody told me he had a heart procedure a couple of weeks ago, so he might have. He either fell asleep or something happened. He went across the road and killed another guy, and there was other people in the car. His wife died too. But he was driving a Volkswagen EOC something that they hadn't made for 10 years, so it's got to be an old car.
No, an electric one maybe.
No. It was the one that
I don't know.
Not an electric one, no. But he was.
It's not in today's paper, is it?
We had I don't think we identified the car. The Des Moines Register had a story on it. And we got a little story on it, but here, it's up here in maybe another page.
Maybe it wasn't today.
Yeah. He died Saturday.
Well, it probably wasn't today then.
I don't know. Is that him?
Nope. Nope.
Okay. Well, he played on a line with Davy Brooks and somebody else, and they were the famous line in Gopher history. And he was on the 68 Olympic team.
Yep.
A really good player, supposed to be quite the character. I was talking to Dave Ferroni about him. He went and played in Austria, right? He was playing in the European, playing in Austria. Then he used to show up once in a while for a Saints game wearing Austrian clothes, like he was a guy with the long socks and the pants pulled up and stuff like that, and a hat, the goofy hat.
Do we know where he played in high school?
Robbinsdale.
Robbinsdale.
And they were a power. Robbinsdale, He was, they said he got 4 goals in one state tournament game back in the day. So, yeah, he was a good player. Supposed to be a great guy. I never really knew him.
What's Robbinsdale now? They have 2 high schools, don't they?
Robbinsdale Armstrong?
Cooper and
Armstrong. No, Armstrong's in New Hope, but But the Armstrong... But the Robbinsdale, it's still the Robbinsdale School District, of which I'm a faithful taxpayer. And we got Armstrong, Cooper. Where else? We got
St. Louis Park.
We got another school too. We got it's a Park Center. And one maybe I think Park Center is one of them. I don't know. But you know that it's the goofiest thing, though. When the Golden Valley School District closed, the Golden Valley folded their high school 70s, maybe, sometime in the 70s. So I've seen a map. They voted on whether they wanted to be in the Robbinsdale School District, the St. Louis Park School District, or the Hopkins School District. So they ended up in the Hopkins School District, so the map goes, and then it goes down there, but like towards the city. It goes, but there's just this finger, and it's surrounded by everything. It's goofy, but I don't think it makes much difference anymore. Breck High School is where the Golden Valley High School used to be, right there.
Okay.
Does Golden Valley still have a high school?
No.
They did.
Yeah, into the 70s. Yeah. And then it's where
Did you hear? Just explain the map.
Breck is right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to follow it. He's making noises.
You go up here. You go up here. It's kind of like Denny explaining the
Calcutta Clipper.
Well, Joe, you had asked at the beginning, why are we on YouTube? That's exactly why. So people can see Pat motioning.
And then it'll go down like that.
I don't know. I'm kind of damn near made it to another year, though. I guess I'll be happy about that.
I got something for both of you right now.
Okay.
Column idea or a Monday night sports talk live appearance. Next year,
Buffalo.
We got to go. They're shutting down the old stadium next year. They're building the brand new one, basically across the street.
Yeah.
But the old one's getting shut down next year.
Can I tell you something?
There's not a chance.
A lot of people don't have the fondness for Buffalo that you do. That's your deal.
Yes.
You do it. You go out there.
Remember, I recalled the story of you guys, the last Vikings game at the Met when we were hacking off the seats and stuff. This will be part
bad.
2.
Oh, God. They're gonna have to come in and spray them with helicopters to get them out of there.
I'm not kidding. I saw a guy looking down at the seats. He's got the array of the, what do you call it, the sockets. No, the sockets, because he was sizing things up for what he's...
Oh, for next year?
That was their last game. But I mean, they're going to have a playoff game, but that was their last home game.
Oh, really?
So he's saying, that's
Wait
probably
a minute.
3 or 4
They're
games.
playing there next year.
But that's it. They're done after next year.
But he's already figuring out
He
how
was
to
sizing up things.
They're crazy. Where do they come from? Because Buffalo as a town doesn't have nearly as many
When
people.
William and I were making the drive, we saw cars heading east with the Bills stuff all over the vehicle as far away as Indiana. And I'm
Really?
not joking.
Wow.
Yep.
I wonder why.
Well, I think somebody was explaining this to me. What helped their fan base grow significantly was that period when Cleveland didn't have football.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, that helped a lot of people. A lot of people converted. But, I mean, it's insane. That town shuts down for a home game.
They were, they had that 4-year run when they lost them all, man. They were good. I was up there for 51-3. I thought it was the best football team I'd ever seen in my life.
Did OJ ever make a Buffalo Super Bowl?
No.
So.
In fact, I don't even know if they made the playoffs when he was there.
But that was the brunt of his career. Was
For sure. Yeah.
I told you, Bobby Lee played with him in college, junior college, and told me he ran into him a couple of years ago. He said, same old OJ. And I said, well, got a little blotch there.
There's a murder rap.
Double murder
They can never take away from you.
You got
I forgot he was dead, though.
Yeah.
OJ.
Yeah.
What killed him?
He had
OKC and the Timberwolves tonight at home.
You going?
No.
OKC, Joe, is 26-5.
Ooh.
Without Chet Holmgren?
Without Chet Holmgren. They got that 3-name guy that's fantastic.
Whatever
his name is. He's
And you got
best
the
player.
Nashvilles in playing the Wild at home tonight.
They're both at home on New Year's Eve.
Nashville
That's right.
very good.
I don't know. Let's look them up. I thought last week I said
Not a good night to be a slot person at a local newspaper out there. No.
Last week I said the game at Dallas was going to be an important game.
We win.
For the Wild, they were down 2-0, pulled it out. Faber scores the wraparound in
And then
overtime.
they come home to
They
lose
come
to
home and lose to
Ottawa.
Ottawa.
Ottawa, however,
that can't happen.
Ottawa, however, has been playing good. Do you see that I think Ottawa is getting a new arena because the other one is too far away. They build it out in the countryside back when that was the thing to do.
Really?
I think so. That's why now they say traffic's too bad, so nobody goes to the game.
The Nashvilles are barely above Chicago for last place in the Western Conference. The Nashvilles have 20. I can't read. 20-some point. Let's see here. Nashville has 29 points. Chicago has 26.
Oh, I see, Pat. The Canadian Tire Center's all the way. It's past the river.
Yeah.
It's all the way in the burbs there. Yeah, I see that.
I think they're going to build a new one.
Downtown Ottawa, huh?
That's what I heard, yeah.
They're getting a new
I've
rink.
never been there. Never been to Ottawa.
I'd like
Never
to cover
been.
a game there.
I finally was in Montreal about 3-4 years ago. Katie and I went.
Yeah, but you weren't there to cover something.
No,
you just went as a
on
civilian.
Yeah, we went to Montreal and Quebec. A little vacation. A lot of Frenchmen up there.
People skate to the game in Ottawa.
Really?
There's canals in Ottawa.
Yeah.
Although I don't
Like
know.
War Road, man. They skate to the game in War Road.
I bet it's. Are they building a new arena in Ottawa? You just said.
That's what Pat said.
I think so, because they're mad because it's too far away.
How far is
current rink is too far away?
Yeah, they build it out in the boonies.
Oh,
how far is Ottawa from Montreal?
Oh, you can get there.
A couple of, not that far.
Couple hours?
At least 2.
Okay,
but not that far. My friend Boxing Bob Elliott, the ball writer from Toronto, was covered the Expos for the Ottawa paper for many years, for several years beforehand. So it's close enough that Ottawa was like Montreal was their team. So.
He's the one that, when we had him on as a guest, made Reusse and I laugh because he coined the term, I don't know, Pat, they were playing the Houstons or something. God, that made me laugh. The Houstons.
He's the funniest guy of all time. Every once in a while I get a text from him. What's that mean? I don't know. He's like all of our friends. It's like all of his friends in Canada that he calls by a first name that I know who the hell he's talking about.
Right.
So.
Is that little Frenchman still alive?
You need your mic, sir.
Who?
That little French guy that was a sports writer in the World Series. He was.
Oh, no.
Who am I thinking of?
I can't remember. The guy who had a girlfriend in Florida?
Yeah.
It was the Hangle of the Sun.
The Hangle of the Sun.
In the press box in Los Angeles instead of...
Why are you so tan?
Yeah.
Well, see, the Hangle of the Sun got me in the Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, because they thought they were, who do you think was going to the World Series? And, they thought the Expos were going to the World Series. And then the Dodgers beat them. Yeah. Serge was my buddy, Serge Touchette. And he wasn't the guy with the Hangle of the Sun, but Serge is the guy that you'd see him in New York, and he'd have the posts there, and he'd have the signs there, and he'd be typing like crazy, looking at this stealing stuff out of it. And I said, Serge, he says, hasn't been written in French. Yeah, he was great. I think he didn't get in the Hall. He was one of the finalists. He didn't get in the Hall of Fame. Boxer got in the Hall of Fame. But anyway, I don't know why. I just wrote a column on the 10 most unlikely seasons that Minnesota teams have had, inspired by these guys.
Yep.
So
this is unlikely.
Yes, it is.
The
only wild one that made it was 03.
Yeah, that was unlikely.
Yeah.
Well, the 87 club's got to be way up there, right?
Twins?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they'd been bad for 6 years. Yeah. I think they're number one, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But
both of them, right? Both of them?
91. 91, we knew they were good, even though they'd finished last.
Okay.
I mean, they had great players. 91 didn't even make the list.
What do you think of Kepler's departure?
I'm all for it.
Okay.
Good for him, though. You know, he's got the perfect baseball frame, ability, everything. If somebody can just get him to concentrate for 100 out of 162 games, it'll be okay. Mm-hmm. It was good for him to get out of here. Because Philadelphia, as an entity, has a lot more energy. So,
well, he had the one really great year. Was it 19?
Yeah,
he hit 36 or something.
36 home runs with the
juice ball.
Juice ball, yeah. But
you're not looking forward to a winning year.
No, I don't. They'll be fighting to get close. They don't have the pitching to be fighting now. How about the rumors that Pablo might be on the market?
If they do that,
they're asking for. They probably don't care since it's
at
for
this
sale.
point. You're right. They probably don't care.
How about the rumors over the weekend that Darnold was signed to the Vikings for $240 million? Did you hear that one?
That one,
somebody just floated that out there.
Yeah, they just throw that out there.
Yeah. He has not been signed long term.
No.
Although if he keeps winning like this, how do you not keep him? You have to keep him.
There's no hurry. But what we've discovered, Joe, is in this new era, don't take anything you see in social media at face value, because it's, or even on TV, YouTube. The YouTube stuff is all crap.
Unless it's our YouTube stuff.
Oh yeah,
that you can believe.
This is honest.
Yes.
We're the only two guys that would do this, for God's sake.
Right.
Anyway, I think we didn't give them much entertainment today, but the hell with it. At the end of the year, we're getting fired up again next year, right?
Next Monday.
Yes.
We'll know how the lads have fared.
Yes, we will. We'll have a topic.
Mm-hmm. We will have a topic.
Do you know that I was realizing? Now, I'm sure they won't include me in the Star Tribune traveling party if they make a Super Bowl, which is okay. But I only covered
You don't want to go anyway. It's in New Orleans.
I only covered one Super Bowl in New Orleans.
Me too.
Well, I mean, I covered a lot of Super Bowls.
I covered more than one in New
Orleans. But I only
Orleans.
covered one with the Vikings.
Right, me too.
I only covered one with the Vikings.
Oh, really?
And it would be fun to cover a Super Bowl in New Orleans where you aren't .26 every night and then have to get up and go at it.
But what's the fun
That was
in that?
still my drinking days. Ooh, that's where I asked Brucey Bennett
For a
if
nail
he
clipper.
had a nail clipper. He'd been my boss, and he had no arms below the elbows. I was hungover enough to ask him if he had a nail clipper.
You got a nail.
Never mind. Never mind. I still think Brucey went to his grave thinking I was making fun of him instead of just hung over to the teeth. Remember those double knit clothes when they'd get the long strings on them? Who invented
Well, actually,
them?
I don't, because you're
You
the
never
one who
bought
wore
it.
the double knits.
Oh, I
He's
did.
Mr.
But I mean
Fashion.
the jacket, the sports coat.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Why did we ever think that was good?
Well, did it ever occur to you that maybe you just hooked it on a railing somewhere?
Well, I know I did, but if you did, you could walk a block and the string would be following you down the street. Yeah.
Wasn't that also the site of the famous wake-up call where you asked someone?
Yes. 7:30. She said, "I'm sorry, sir. It's 7:45." I said,
Uh-oh.
"Well, let's change that to about 5 o'clock. Let's change that to about 5. That's so long ago you could change your flight, though.
Yeah.
It's not like now if you.
The reason I don't care to go to that Super Bowl, if the Vikes get there this year, I can't stand that stadium. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate the whole thing.
They've done some stuff in it, but it's just
dreadful.
a big long.
It's just a
It's funny how long
tomb.
it's getting old now, man. It's
Yeah.
been there since Twins went in when it first opened to play 2 exhibition games. So 75 maybe.
It's just
75.
ugly. It's
They played baseball at that stadium?
Yeah.
I didn't know
Well,
that.
it was supposed to be open by 75 for that Super Bowl, and then they ended up having to play it at Tulane Stadium.
what I love about U.S. Bank is you don't feel, you see the outside.
Yes.
You can see the outside. I like that.
Yeah, that was a good idea. Yeah.
The Superdome is dark and dank and no windows.
You stayed till the end, though.
Of the game I went to this year?
Yes.
Yes. That was not my choice. I was with people who were determined to stay till it was over.
Don't you hate going to games with people like that?
What the hell's
Pat,
wrong with you?
as you
I would have left by noon.
Hockey, what were you, 10 minutes to go? See you later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as you put it, you wanted to or they wanted to make sure they got your money's worth.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I paid you, didn't I?
Yes, you
yeah,
did.
All right,
Yeah,
all right.
you did.
Oh, for the
But I love that line. Well, they wanted to make sure they got my money's worth.
Yeah, they got my money's worth.
Oh, man. Yeah.
You know what I had to eat that day? A walking taco.
I know, you told me that.
What the hell
It's
is
a
that?
little messy,
Does
doesn't
that
it?
mean I guess you can just wander around with it, huh?
I guess so.
It comes with a fork.
I mean, here's my deal. All the modern stadiums
yeah.
with this different variety of big, lasagna.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit down in my seat and eat a
Yeah, it's
hunk of
all- it
lasagna.
gets everywhere.
How about a chow cone?
A chow
Oh,
cone.
cool.
Riley was on the right track.
Yeah.
He just
a little early.
didn't figure out how to cool the chow mein.
And when it melted all over somebody, he had a problem.
I don't think chow main's as popular as it
No,
used to be.
not
It's
even
coming.
close.
It's coming because
When
now
he was the king of the chow mein.
Oh God, I miss him writing that complete horse crap based on nothing. It was great.
Completely made up.
Yes, it was great.
And I know my Uncle Jimmy would,
Yeah.
hey, did you read Riley today? Who was that long-legged blonde at the bar with Sonny Jurgensen, huh? I don't know, Jimmy. I'm not sure that's real.
Yeah, he was the greatest though. God, he was funny.
Is he alive?
No, God, he died 10, 12 years ago. He was in his 80s.
That's right. All right.
He was in his 80s. Dottie, I think Dottie died too.
Tiger, meet Tiger.
Tiger meet Ace.
Yeah.
Tiger meet Ace.
Tiger, meet Ace.
Yeah, it was great. Oh, but the best ever, Dad.
You
He
forgot
left Mom
Mom.
and Toma. The two girls are sitting out on the stoop waiting for him to get home at 6 in the morning.
Well, they went in to go to the bathroom.
She went in to go to the bathroom.
And he didn't even bother looking in the back seat. He just took off.
I can safely say I did not do that. I didn't leave the kid in a rest area in, the middle of Indiana.
That is good. Yeah.
Goodbye.
All right. I do need to hear one more time this calendar year about our friends at the Valley Group, Patrick.
Hey, baby, this is the time. You should see the interest rates down there. You know what they're getting? They got prices on the Encore SUV that are unbelievable.
I might have to make a visit. I drove by the showroom about a week ago. Boy, they got some good-looking vehicles there.
I know, and the Buicks, the smaller
station wagon is very timely. Very European.
The SUVs,
yes, sir.
The small one right now. If you got the granddaughter graduating, to turning 16 and getting ready to drive, that's the way to go.
Yep.
You got it's under 25. It's low interest rates, almost nothing, and rebates, the whole deal. It's great. The SUVs, and they got a load of Sierras out there too. Jim Paul Valley Group of GM dealers in Apple Valley. I was looking at their website. 189 vehicles a couple of days ago ready to move, and then there's also the Apple Valley showroom in Hastings. But I don't know. If I had that kid getting ready if I had a little money in my pocket, not a lot, a little money in my pocket, and had the kid that's playing athletics and turning 16, I think I'd get that Encore. Brett Paul, Valley Group of GM dealers, Apple Valley and Hastings.